and a very warm welcome to Daily Dispatch, a show that gives you all the latest news and updates from the digital ecosystem. I'm Priya Sheth. Thank you for logging in on a Monday evening. Time now to get you all the top news stories that we've been tracking for you this week. Well, Five Star Finance has raised about $234 million from a consortium of leading global and Indian investment firms. The round was led by existing investors like Sequoia Capital India, with participation from Norwest Venture Partners, as well as new investors led by KKR with participation from TVS Capital. Now, this investment values the company at about $1.4 billion. Well, moving on to the second headline of the day, Accel and Sequoia-backed fintech player Drip Capital has secured a $40 million warehouse credit line from the California-based East West Bank to expand its trade finance solutions to small businesses. Now, as much as 50% of the credit line will be deployed in India. Well, B2B rental company Settlers has raised an undisclosed amount in a pre-Series A round from angel investors. The startup plans to use these fresh funds to build the tech platform, expand geographically, as well as to onboard more vendors to the same. Well, moving on to the final headline of the day, Humingo is a tech startup founded by BITS Pilani alumni with a focus on creating an augmented reality-based social networking platform, has raised an undisclosed round of funding. The investment will be used to accelerate the development of an AR-powered platform as well as camera interface. Well, moving on to our second segment, I have with me someone who has been growing the virtual dating space in a big way. I have with me Snehal Khanor from Truly Madly. Thank you very much for being a part of Daily Dispatch. I want to begin by asking you about the last couple of months, in terms of how the dating activity has panned out amid the pandemic.
Yeah, so I would say, online dating grew despite pandemic, right? There are some news pieces going that because of pandemic the dating market grew. I would say it grew despite pandemic. Only uptick we saw was in our ARPUs, especially during the first 2 weeks of the lockdown. When people, for them also, it was more like a vacation, less of a lockdown. They were baking banana bread and making dalgona coffees, right? And during those periods, our ARPU were actually were matching the levels of Christmas to New Year kind of that week's ARPUs, right? But when PM came and and told that there will be a second lockdown, and that is, I think, when it hit people, it's not a vacation, it's a pandemic. Then I think that effect went away. But then post that, we have been growing consistent. We have been growing before that also consistently, and even after that, we keep we were growing after that also.
Give us an indication as to how much growth you've seen, and mainly key trends that you've seen panning out in the market.
Yeah, so there are a few very interesting, pattern shifts that have happened because of pandemic. For example, peak usage time of users, which earlier used to be from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. and then it kind of tapered down. Right now, we see our peak times have gotten extended till 2 a.m. Right, because people are sleeping late and waking up late because of work from home situation. Right. Secondly, we are seeing some group added delta of growth from tier 2 and tier 3 cities, right? And not just in terms of usage, also in terms of revenue. For example, while our overall revenue growth in last 12-13 months have been 4x on monthly level, some cities like Bhubaneswar, Patna, Guwahati, Surat, Indore, Gwalior, they all have seen a growth of north of 10-15x on monthly revenue levels, right? So and then again, we are not even multilingual yet. It's mostly just English speaking population of those towns, and our minimum entry barrier to become a paid member on Truly Madly is 699 rupees, right? So despite that, we are seeing those kind of growth.
In terms of paid members, I want to understand what has been the kind of growth for paid users at this point in time. If you could give us some estimate as to what the number has been growing like on a month-on-month basis.
Yes, so we have seen our revenue growing consistently 10, 15, 20% month on month, right? And we have seen paying percentages, improvement in paying percentages, and this has been happening consistently since last 1.5 years, right? Our ARPUs have grown significantly, and that is a mix of our product and our pricing strategies, right? And because we only target 25 and above, because we are a serious dating app to find your forever, right? So that ways, our ARPU as well as paying percentages have seen significant uptake in last, I would say, 15-20 months.
In terms of the way ahead, I want to understand what are the kind of products that we can expect you to introduce in the market, or what's the kind of outlook that you have for 2021 as a market?
So I think the problem that we are trying to solve is I believe we are the first generation of India who are responsible for our own marriages, right? And also the first generation of India who have the freedom to do so, right? And so that is what we are trying to solve, because we definitely don't want to go on to traditional arranged marriage setup, and also traditional matrimony sites which are just digital form of arranged marriage setup, where first question is caste, second is gotra, and third is family wealth. And from women's perspective, do you know how to cook? What time will you be back home? How will you manage household and work? We don't want that. And we definitely don't want to start the conversation with a parent, right? So our thesis is find your forever by yourself, right? So we are developing the product also in that way. We are coming up with some new features like a forever product, which we will solely target on 28 and above, because we see, with age, the intention towards a serious matchmaking also increase, right? So that ways, I think we have planned some really good features which we'll be rolling out in the next few quarters, which are purely focused on solving the problem of, see, for example, if I want to meet a compatible life partner today, right? What are my options? I don't want to go into a arranged marriage setup. I don't want to go on traditional matrimony sites. India, you can't really go to a club and do something. Anyway, for some time, you can't even go to the clubs. Yet, probability of finding a love on a hookup app is very rare, right? So where do I go, right? So Truly Madly is that platform, which we are curating, serious people looking for something serious, and then we are providing them with tools to find each other, right? So we have this compatibility assessment tool, which we got designed by some of the top psychologists and psychometricians of India, right? And it tells you a lot of things about the other person, which you normally would have gotten to know after 3 to 4 months of dating, but we try and tell you on day 0, right? Then we have a trust score on each profile, and on top of that, we reject 40% of the profile applicants who apply to become a member on Truly Madly. On the moderation level only, we reject 40%. Either they are not putting up the right photos, or they are putting any random photos. So on TM, you would never ever see any random photo while browsing through the profile.
So how many users do you have at this point?
8 billion users.
Do you also plan to introduce a vernacular version where you have different languages also?
So that is in our next quarter's roadmap, because we are seeing huge revenue growth, from tier 2 and tier 3. So to tap on the network effect, we feel we should now launch multilingual also. But that also we will do a phased rollout. We'll start with Hindi and Marathi, learn a bit about how vernacular communities work, because I imagine each language will be a microverse in itself, because I can't really match a person who is using the app in Marathi to a person who is using the app in Bengali, right? And mother tongue is also what kind of connects us, right? So that is also one very interesting key matchmaking aspect also, right? And we keep doing a lot of research and improvements on our matchmaking algorithm. And how we look at it is, how do we increase female like rate, right? And we have doubled our like rate recently just via an algorithm update. And that is also what led to huge. Our revenue also just doubled without any incremental marketing push, right? So that is the way we are approaching the problem.
I wanted to understand in terms of funding. You all did raise a recent round of funding. I wanted to understand going forward, are you planning to raise more funds because of the kind of aggressive expansion that you've targeted? And if yes, then what's the kind of funding that you'd like to raise?
Yeah, so we are just closing a few things. We will inform you very soon. Good thing is in our business model. So there was a short April, May, June peak pandemic. We were actually profitable, right? We small profits, but we didn't lose money, right? So we are building a very sustainable business that way, right? And most of the burn right now that we are having is mostly focused towards brand building. We have started engaging with a lot of popular creators like Tanmay Bhatt, Dhruv Rathi, Triggered Insan, right? So we are working and consistently we are doing a lot of very interesting content campaigns. We recently came up with a very nice brand film which got shared a lot on Twitter and Instagram, right? And we plan to keep doing so, and that is the only fund requirement also that we have, because everything else we kind of recover all our performance marketing costs the same month from the users. So only investment that we are doing right now is building the brand, and that is the only thing that we need money for, right? So yeah.
Right. The final question on revenues. I wanted to understand what kind of revenue targets are you working with for 2022, and if you could also give us some indication on whether you would be able to sustain this kind of profitability.
Yeah. So I believe at scale, this can be a hugely profitable business, right? And we have seen recently 3 examples. Bumble went for a stellar $8 billion IPO. Match Group made its highest ever acquisition of $1.73 billion. They acquired a Hyperconnect, a Korean-based app company, and China's Soul app is going for $1 billion IPO, right? So this and Tinder and Match Group overall has been profitable since forever, right? So a very India is still a bit 4-5 years, I would say, behind. But in the target that we are chasing, that by 2025 we should be doing 100 millions of ARR.
$100 million, and that is something that we're going to be watching out for. Many thanks for being a part of Daily Dispatch, and we really hope that the matchmaker in you finds the right match as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Well, time now to say goodbye. Many thanks for joining us on this edition of the Daily Dispatch. I'll see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. as usual. Goodbye and stay safe.